Serocee topics, yeah?
It should be what on YouTube. It's rum and bass music.
Is it rum and bass?
Rum and bass music on the YouTube.
I couldn't even find that, to be honest with you. So I've got it on my TV at the moment too, because I can see it on my TV as well.
Okay. Let's have a. I'll send you the link once we're live on IG now. So that's good to go. And let me send you the.
Yeah, I think I'll have to go on IG as well.
All right. Let me send you the rum and bass as well. Just got the notification to say that we're live on.
So if I go on Instagram,
you should be able to stream live on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So I'm going to leave on my phone on Instagram because people can get me through that.
Yeah, perfect.
They will. Yeah, so I'm going to leave my Instagram on my phone.
Perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this. No. And that's
I put too much off on Instagram. Yeah, so anybody on Instagram, I can communicate with them.
All right. You have everybody now. So from you there, let's go.
Okay. I just sent you a message on Instagram. Do you see it?
Let me just make sure. I haven't got a message from you on Instagram. Oh, no. I probably will have on Instagram, actually. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, yeah.
I don't have the... I got my phone. All right. So weird. Should be good to go. Yep, I've got it on my personal IG. Yeah. All right, then. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, 100%.
So, people, thank you so much for joining in. This is Rum and Bass, and you know, on a fortnightly basis, we always bring somebody in to have some of the important conversations with. And today is no different to what we ordinarily do. Today we're speaking to a man that single-handedly, by himself, managed to cure his diabetes issue simply without medication and simply by fixing his diet with exercise and all of these types of things. And like I say, I believe that these are very important conversations for us to have. He goes by the name of Lyndon Wissart. He is the inspired diabetic. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. How are you feeling?
No, King Serocee, it's my honor and privilege to be on your show this evening. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Because I know you're a superstar, man. So it's my honor. Thank you very much for asking me to come on. It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you very much. You know, thank you.
Well, then we're mutually grateful to each other because it's mutually beneficial, bro. Look, I've been looking at your story.
Yeah.
And the reason why we invited you to come on, obviously, I'd met you a few months ago now.
Yeah.
And I saw you with your book, and you know you were at an event.
Yes.
And I said, well, looking at your story, we have to. It's important for us to have these conversations. It's important to get you on the show and to speak to you about your journey because it's very influential, and maybe we can inspire people to do what you have done.
Yes.
So I wanted you just briefly to tell people a little bit about your journey so far, and then we can get into the meat and potatoes of the thing. Talk to me, bro.
A bit about my journey. I'm of Jamaican descent. My parents are from Jamaica. I was born in the UK. I grew up I was born in Hackney, and when I was about 5, we moved to Tottenham, and I spent the rest of my life in my from baby to teenage life to my 20s in Tottenham. I did, and from there I had children and moved around to different places. But now I'm based out in the country. I've been a chef for over 30 years. I have working in different establishments, working with different people, and one of the ladies that's online now, one of my heroes, you know. She's tuned in, and she supported me on my culinary journey, you know, which I really appreciate. So I've been working in so many different places. I love cooking. I love what I do. But in October 2015, my life changed. You know, when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And when I was diagnosed, I didn't know what diabetes was at the time. I had all the symptoms of type 2 diabetes, but I didn't know what the symptoms acquainted to. You know, I had pins and needles in my fingers and my toes, like, you know, like itching, pins and needles, prickles in my fingers and toes. I was running to the toilet on a regular basis. I was always hungry. I was always thirsty. I had blurred vision at sometimes. I was overweight. Yeah, and I was always tired as well. You know, I was always tired, and these are just some of the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. But I didn't know. And one day I was in the kitchen and I was working on a calculator, and I was working out recipes, and I was working out a recipe, and it's like 1 and 1 was 3, 4 and 4 was 5, 6, 6, and I just couldn't focus that morning. And there's a chef standing up, and he's making these jokes, you know, and I can hear everybody kind of laughing and with his jokes, but I couldn't focus on what he was saying. And he looked at me and he called out my name, Lyndon. But you know, when someone's called your name, you react, you look around, it kind of burst my bubble. And when I looked at him, I just stared in his eyes, and he says, Lyndon, you're not laughing at my jokes. And I said to myself, I don't know. And I just ran into the changing room, you know, just ran to the changing room, and I just fell on the floor, and I was just crying like a baby, you know, because I had so many things going wrong with my body, my mind and my spirit for the last 12 months, and I couldn't deal with it, you know. And that day was like a day when I literally hit the wall, when I just thought, what's going wrong with me? What's going on with me? And the chef came into me and said, Lyndon, what's wrong? I told him how I've been feeling. He said to me, listen, you do one or two things. Either you go home or you go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? So I thought to myself, you know, it's midday. It's midday, coming up to the afternoon. And I said to myself, you know something? I'm going to just ring the doctor. I just ring the doctor. And you know, Serocee, I rang the doctor. And you know what happened when I rang the doctor?
Tell me.
Tell you? I got through. So somebody actually answered the phone. Yeah. And when they answered the phone, yeah, I told them what I want to do. I want to see the doctor about some issues. And you guess when they told me to come in?
Immediately?
5:30 that same day.
See there?
5:30 that same day. So just think, number one, I got through, and number two, they told me to come same day. But at that time, I was living outside London. I was working in London. So my journey at times would be like an hour and a half, depending on what time I left work. But that day I left work, and I thought to myself, you know something, just going to go home and just, before I go to the doctor. And that journey was such a long journey, because so much things were going through my mind. I was thinking about all the things that was going on within my body, how I felt, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to go to the doctor? Do I really want to see if it's negative or positive? Do I really want to tell them what's going on with my body? So when I was there now in the doctor, and, you know, I got in there, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know, so I'm going to go home. I don't want to know the answer. So I got one leg in, one leg out. Then I said to myself, you know something? I'm going to go home. And then you know what happened? They called my name.
So everything was pointing to you actually going and seeing a professional and having that conversation, right?
Yeah. So I went in, because I'm there. I went in. I told the doctor what's wrong with me, and I told her I had pains in my stomach, I had blood in my stool. Yeah, all these things that's going wrong with me. The doctor said to me, okay, they put me on a table thing anyway. And I'm laying down, they're touching me all here and there to find out what they couldn't feel. They said they can't feel nothing. We're going to send you to the hospital. So that's another story. So, and because I had blood in my stool as well, yeah, they said we're going to send you to hospital about the blood in your stool as well. So the last thing the doctor said, let's take a blood test before you go, a pinprick blood test. And I thought to myself, okay, I'll take a blood test. So they done a blood glucose blood test where they pinprick your finger and they test the blood from there. That blood that they tasted was 15.9. Yeah. And it's
just for the people that don't know, what should it be normally?
It should be 5. It should be about 5.
So mine 3 times approximately above the level that you're supposed to be at.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. But it meant nothing to me when the doctor told me. So the doctor told me you might be diabetic. You know, you're probably diabetic. So we're going to send you for another blood test, which is the HbA1c blood test. And the HbA1c blood test is a blood test what they take, and it monitors your blood level sugars for the last 3 months. Yeah, that blood sugar level should be 42 and below, or around 42. Mine was 92.8.
Wow.
Yeah, mine was very, very high. Mine was 92. Yeah, so I was in the danger zone when they took it. And then when I went back and got the results, the doctor told me that I'm diabetic. I said, diabetic? I mean, I'm saying to myself, what is diabetes? What is this? And then, you know something, when somebody tells you something, it goes in one ear, goes out the other ear. And then I realized diabetes, where did I hear that word before? And twice I can recollect that I heard diabetes. The first time was when I went to visit my friend's mother, who wasn't very well. And when I went into the room, I saw her sitting down with her leg up. And she looked at me. She said, Lyndon, she said, the sugar get me. She said, Lyndon, the sugar get me. I didn't understand what she meant at the time. But you know how we respect our elders? We don't go into details, what the sugar mean and everything like that. But a few months later, she passed away. What? You know, and when she passed away at the funeral, I found out it was through diabetes. You know, so in the Caribbean, they say the sugar, because they don't want to say diabetes. They want to say the sugar get me, because it's not as subtle as diabetes. Diabetes is like a death sentence in the Caribbean. If once you got it, you're done. You know. And the other time when I remember the word diabetes, when my cousin Ken, he was type 1 diabetic, and he told me a story about how he became type 1 diabetic. And when he told me how he became type 1 diabetic, I'm thinking to myself, geez, Ken, you need to write a book, do a video, share your story with some people, you know? And he said to me, Lyndon, if you ever become diabetic, don't take any medication, because there are side effects to the medication. And I thought to myself, okay, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? So I left it there, you know? I left it there. And from that day, I said to my doctor, how did I become diabetic? What caused it? And she said, my lifestyle, the foods that you're eating, you know, the pasta, the rice, the alcohol, the fizzy drinks, all these things that's got sugar in. Do you know what I'm saying? That spiked me. And I thought to myself, wow, you know, and just when I'm recollecting all the illnesses, the feelings I've had for the last year, I said to myself, I don't want to carry on like this. I really don't want to carry on like this. And also, I was self-employed at the time. So because of my illness, if it got worse, yeah, that means I won't be able to work. So if I'm not able to work, I'm not able to earn. Simple. So my back was against the wall, because I got bills, responsibilities, family, that kind of thing. And I think to myself, you know something, Lynn? You have to make a decision now. Make a decision today, not tomorrow, today, what you're going to do. So from Serocee, from that day, I said to myself, as of now, today, I'm cutting down rice, potatoes, pasta, fizzy drinks, alcohol, everything from that day.
And so from that day forward, have you had any, you know, you're cutting down, but you didn't cut out completely, or you just done with everything one time?
No, I didn't cut out completely. I just cut down. I just totally cut down. Yeah. If I said I cut out, it could be political. You know.
So let's take a little step back, right? So you've gone to the doctor.
Yeah.
Right? You're experiencing all of these symptoms.
Yes.
You don't know what diabetes is.
No.
You've gone to the doctor. You've had exposure, because it's very important, I think, for us to discuss this element. We all know, and that's one of the reasons why I used the headline that I did, which was from big backs to heart attacks. And I know it's a, you know, it's controversial, whatever.
Yes.
But the reason why is we don't, especially when you're from a Caribbean background, we hear the word sugar so much.
Yes.
Right? Auntie, granny,
Yes.
uncle is sugar, right? But you don't really hear the word, as you quite rightly have said, diabetes. And then the other elements are, once you're led to believe, once you get the dreaded diabetes, you can't beat it. You have to go on all of this medication, and it's problematic, because you quite rightly have said there's side effects associated with that as well. And unfortunately, with a lot of medication for various issues, there's always the side effects that impact you as well. And sometimes you can end up taking the medication for one thing and having to take another medication to deal with the side effects of the medication that you're taking. And it's a massive cycle, which I believe the medical industry, they make mad money from it, right? But we're not here to get into the politics of what the medicines and, you know, industry is doing. We're here to talk about diabetes and the impacts on you and how you manage to address it. So one of the things that you said to me was, from the point where you were diagnosed and you had this recollection of you having an uncle that had it. Sorry, your brother had it, right?
My cousin, Your
cousin had it. Your cousin had it, and the elder that had it as well. What were your first steps? So you cut out the food. What about exercise and these things? What did you do in that regard?
Yeah, my first step was, number one, to basically stop eating. That was my first step, to cut down on everything, you know.
Because you're overweight as well, right?
I was overweight, yeah. And the reason why I knew I was overweight, because I went to my mom's house one day and she looked at me and she said, "Lyndon." I said, "Yes, mom." She said, "Lyndon, your belly will get big."
Caribbean people, that's the intro, right?
My mom was just, my mom's Caribbean. My mom just says it as it is. She said, "Look upon yourself." She said, "Look upon yourself. Look how your belly will get big, Linda." And I thought to myself, "Mom, you can't talk to me like that. I'm the baby of the family. You know, I'm the baby, mom."
You had sympathy, yeah?
So seriously, when I got home, when I went home, you know, I looked in the mirror, I look at myself, and you know something? I look, and I go, wow, look at my stomach, man. Look at my stomach. And my mom said to me also, pigs don't know when pigs stink.
Whoa.
You know? And she said, when pigs don't know when pigs stink, that means when you're in a certain environment, you don't realize it. You know? Because everyone that you're around is in the same situation or similar, but they just don't talk about it because they're the same.
When she was meaning, sorry to cut you, bro, but what was she meaning? Was she meaning that you're in the cooking environment, the chef environment, and everybody else is on that wave?
And people around me probably not telling me that I'm getting bigger. You know, just think you're wearing with your close friends, they probably got big belly as well, so you don't talk about it. You know, you might say, "Oh, I'm going to the gym, or I'm going to do this, blah blah blah," but does it ever materialize to that? You know, you just carry on as you are. You know,
that's facts, man. That's facts, because I can tell you, for me, when I started on my kind of health journey as well, I went from 300 pounds, 130 kilos, 20 stone.
Wow.
And you're around people that are not saying to you, boy, yeah, because I wasn't a fat kid, right? So I was at school, I was sports, blah, 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 blah. Then you get into work life, almost probably similar to you. You enter work life and big lunches and this and that. You're not as active as you used to be, etc., etc., etc. The weight starts to pile on, and nobody's not saying to you, "Yo, brother," you know what I mean? And yes, you're having to buy trousers a little bit bigger each time, but you kind of convince yourself, I'm all right, look, you know? These are the things that when I speak to, even I have clients now that I train, when I speak to them, it's never, you don't put a whole heap of weight on overnight. It's gradual.
No, gradual, yeah.
And, you know, you gradually, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, find yourself way heavier than you were. And then you start, like you start recognizing these issues are happening, like you said, the blurred vision, the pins and needles, etc., etc. I had a few clients at one point that was getting palpitations.
Wow.
And various things like this. But because there are books out there, but you're not thinking, I have got diabetes, right? You're not thinking this is what it is. You're just thinking, man, I must be tired or whatever the
Yeah.
case. However, so like you said, your first steps were the food. You were around people that were doing similar things, so they didn't necessarily recognize, or even if they did recognize, they weren't gonna say to you, "Yo, Lyndon, you know something," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you looked in the mirror and you said, "Now I've got to change."
Yeah.
And tell us the stages. Tell us, you know, tell us what you
Well,
did at that change.
What I started to do at that time, my daughter was going to school, so I could drop her off to school in the morning for 8:30, and because I was self-employed, I didn't have to work. So what I started to do, I take her to school for 8:30 in the morning, then I go to the gym. I go to the gym for like 3-4 hours, and after a period of time, you know, I was going to the gym like nearly every day, and I was spending too much. I felt I was spending too much time in the gym. So what I done, I got myself a personal trainer to show me different machines. So I had a routine, and when I went to the gym, it's like £1 for 4 hours in the gym, or 50 pence for 2 hours. So what I decided to do is discipline myself. I put 50 pence in the car park. Yeah. So when I go to the gym, I go to the car park, put my car in, 50 pence in. I got 2 hours to get in and out. So I go in the gym, I do my routine, certain amount of time on the cross trainer, then I go in the rowing machine, then I do the bicycle, then I come off, and then there's a vibrating machine that vibrates the body. I do a bit of that. I do a bit of skipping as well. And there's a machine they call a lateral machine that you go sideways. I'll do a bit of that as well. And that was it. So I worked it out. I just do all these things, yeah, get in, do what I need to, and I come out. So that was a routine for me. And the gym work, this is what I was doing for about 4 or 5 times a week. And then what I'll do, I'll just go back to my car and I'll have like a punnet of blueberries and a banana. And I'll be doing that because I wouldn't eat anything in the morning. I'll just be drinking water at the gym. And I told my friend this one day, and she was a nurse, and she said, "Lyndon, you're intermittently fasting." I said, "What? You're intermittently fasting?" I said, "What do you mean? You're abstaining from eating food for a certain period of time." And I didn't think about it. I said, "Okay, cool, yeah." So, and also from there, I started to eat more vegetables. My cousin Ken told me about flavonoid foods. Yeah, flavonoid foods are foods. Flavonoid is FLAVONOIDS. Flavonoids. Yeah, these are foods that heals and nourishes the pancreas. Yeah, because he said, because if there's something wrong with your pancreas, because the pancreas produces insulin, yeah. With type 1 diabetic, yeah, your pancreas doesn't function well enough to produce insulin or enough insulin. With type 2 diabetes, sometimes you're still producing insulin, but sometimes not enough. But sometimes with the type 2, you're okay with the insulin level, you know. But because my cousin said flavonoid foods to heal the pancreas, why not eat foods that's going to focus on the pancreas? So I started to eat more foods like dark chocolate, 70% and above, tomatoes, berries, more vegetables like papaya, or not papaya. Papaya is a fruit, yeah, I used to eat like that. Garzona beans as well. Lettuce, what was the lettuce called? Romaine lettuce, yeah, romaine lettuce, peppers, all these things that I started to focus more on my regular daily eating. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was at a point where I was afraid to eat food because I wanted my blood sugars to be down. So what my doctor said to me, what she said to me, she's going to offer me medication. Yeah, to offer me medication when I was diagnosed. So I'm going to go back a bit. Sorry. So when they offered me medication, yeah, I declined the medication because of what my cousin Ken said, and she said to me, "I'm going to give you 3 weeks to come back and then get another blood test." Yeah. So within 3 weeks, yeah, my HbA1c when I was diagnosed was 92. Yeah, and when I went for the next blood test, it went down to 77 within 25 days.
Wow.
Within 25 days, it had gone down.
And that was just due to the food and the exercise, because the exercise is also important, right? Food,
exercise, and the intermittently fasting as well, cutting down the fasting as well. So that was the 3 main things I was doing. But the 4th thing that I was doing was the mindset. Can I do it? You know, can I do it? What do I need to do? So this is the things that I was focusing on as well. So from 25 days The next 28 days, from 77, I went down to 60 HbA1c. Yeah, and then that's 28 days, and from 60, I went down to 41 within another month.
So within 3 months now, you've gone from 90 odd down to below.
To 41, yeah. In a total of 105 days without the medication. So I was back to normal.
So why is it that the medical, from your perspective, I don't want to influence your perspective, why is it do you believe that the medical profession are so quick to try and throw drugs at you and artificial solutions at you, rather than just saying to you, yo, eat the right foods, flavonoids, eat, exercise, etc., and you can reduce it? Well, number one, actually, before we get to that, one of the things, or one of the points I was making, even in the post that I did about our conversation today, is when I go online, now it's all about eating in excess.
Yeah.
There's so many people are going to takeaways, and these takeaways, there's a steak that's the size of your head, and everybody wants to eat so much, and it's all the sugary drinks, and it's all the. I saw a burger that was in a cinnamon bun, a Cinnaburger they called it, and there's so much variety, and it looks so sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's how I
lie. But it's problematic. These foods are problematic, right?
Yeah.
So you as a man, and me as well, but you as a man that has gone from being overweight and having to regulate and monitor the foods that you're eating, how do you feel when you see a lot of this being promoted online, especially to our people who are impacted by things like diabetes more than others?
I think each and every one of us have to look at it and decide for ourselves, if we want to go for that or do something different or do our own thing. Because I see every time you go out, it's around us. You go on a high street. Sometimes if you go on a high street, you see about 5 or 6 eat outs there. Do you know what I'm saying? Places to eat. And you look at each one of them, and they're all making money because they're surviving. So people are eating them. But not all of them are necessarily, how can I put it, negatively non-healthy, because it depends what you're eating from them, or what you choose from the menu. If you're choosing a salad, from the menu, a tomato, cucumber, romaine lettuce salad, and depends what kind of dressing they have on it, maybe just olive oil or avocado oil. You can go into some of these places and choose what you want, because the menu is there, and you have a choice of what you want from that menu, So the same thing that they create within a restaurant environment, you can do the same thing at home as well. Because sometimes you have to look at what are you eating at home as well. Is it healthy? Is your own personal environment healthy? That's another thing that you got to look at. And on the flip side to that, are you eating foods, that's going to help you reduce your blood sugars?
Yeah.
That's another thing. So if you know for a fact you're going to eat a cake, or a biscuit, or something that's going to rise your blood sugars, which is natural, what are you eating to counteract that?
Okay.
So
what were you eating that would counteract that?
Something like bitter gourd.
Okay.
You said, what was that? Yeah, bitter gourd. Yeah, Karela.
Yeah.
Where am I going? Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're there. Okay. I see. Yeah.
Or okra.
Okay.
Yeah, or okra as well. So these are just 2 things, bitter gourd and okra, which you could cook, cut down, put into water, leave it 24, 48 hours and drink it. That reduces the blood sugar levels naturally. It does. You've also got cinnamon. Yeah, okay, that does the same thing. Fenugreek as well. Turmeric, watermelon. There's different things you can have. Yeah, apple cider vinegar as well. Okay, these are some of the things that will help reduce your blood sugars naturally.
Right.
Yeah, food-wise. Exercise-wise, we'll do exactly the same thing as well. Reduce your blood sugars, because don't forget, within your body, you have internal fat. You have internal fat inside, which you don't know about. And I didn't know about that. So when I went for my, because I had blood in my stool, and also I was overweight and had pains in my stomach, I was sent to get a body scan. And when they done a body scan on me, they found out that I had a fatty liver.
Okay.
You know? And one day I went to see one of my friends, and he runs a bakery. I went to and I said to him, listen, man, I got this thing, you know. I got this thing. I got diabetes, you know. And they told me I got fatty liver as well. And he go, what? What you say, Lynn? Oh, I'm whispering to him, and he's shouting out in front of everybody. What's wrong with you, Lynn? You know? And I said to him, I got fatty liver as well. He goes, take warm or room temperature water lemon, yeah, in the morning, fresh lemon and lime in the morning. I said, really? He said, yeah, that would help reduce fatty liver. You know? So I thought to myself, okay, I'll do that. And then one day I'm at work, yeah, I got a friend who spoke to me about the okra, Tammy, yeah, she told me about the okra. She said, my granddad used the okra to reduce his blood sugar. And then she told me about spirulina. So spirulina is an algae as well, yeah, which comes from the sea, which is a protein, yeah. So a protein which helps with the blood sugars as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So I started to do all these kind of things. It's not the things that I found out, it's things that people told me about. You know? So there's people around you who cares for you, and they're going to give you the right information, you know, about what to do and how to do certain things, you know. And with my cousin Ken, he was like my support guru, you know, telling me, Lynn, what you doing, what you eating, are you doing this, you know? And the thing about it, I was in such a movement for my personal health that I became so fit. Yeah, I done this test in a Honda place. Yeah, in O2 a few years ago, and they put you on this machine which checks your water level, your iron level, all that kind of thing. And they said to me that you are fit as a racing driver. Do you know what I'm saying?
That would have been a new Lisa, a new job.
But I couldn't drive like one. I was fit as one, but I couldn't drive like one. You know, but it just shows your mindset. Once you start to take certain things out of your diet and you start to look after yourself properly, the pains that I had in my stomach, the pins and needles, all these things just went away. I had more clarity within my mind. You know, all these things just disappeared after a period of time, only because I started to look after myself and I was conscious about it. You know, conscious about it.
And it sounded like you were intentional about it as well, because you know that I think is so important. It's important to ensure that you got the right people around you.
Yes.
And if you're not taking on some of the noise that would impact that. You know.
Yeah, definitely not. I think once you get to a position where if you're pre-diabetic, if you're diabetic, yeah, or you think you got some issues going on with your body, get it checked out. You know, get it checked out. I'm gonna make a disclaimer. Anything that I say, yeah, or mention, yeah, consult with your doctor, your dietitian, your GP, whoever you work with. Do you know what I'm saying? Because what I've done in 105 days may not work for you in the same way. So it's best for you to work, if you're on medication, work with your doctor if you're going to reduce anything that you're doing, you know, because every 22 seconds, somebody loses a lower limb through diabetes. Yes. You know, every 6 seconds, somebody dies from diabetes.
Unfortunately, I've known people that have died from diabetes. I know people that have lost limbs from diabetes.
Yes.
And, you know, that's why it's so near and dear to me.
Yes.
That to make sure that our people know that there are solutions other than, you know, I'm not saying, as you just quite rightly said, go see a doctor, go talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
But again, don't discard the fact that you can cure these things naturally. You can make certain changes in your life.
Yes.
We, as Caribbean people, we love sugar. We love sugary things.
Yeah. This is normal. But what I'll say to a lot of people who love their sugar, they love their cakes, they love their food. If you're a Caribbean person, for example, yeah, okay, and you're eating your rice, your macaroni, cheese, your potatoes, the gravy, the chicken, the coleslaw, all these things on one plate. Do you know what I'm saying? And then we've got the salad, the the lettuce and the cucumber and the tomato. You know, you know.
The Sunday dinner plate, the plate's like this.
Yeah,
It's like that.
And nine times out of 10, you ain't gonna eat all of that anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So I challenge a lot of you to have it on a smaller plate. You know, try a smaller plate for a period of time, and you're gonna feel full. You know, the only time that I used to overeat is when I go to my mum's house. You know, my mum's food used to be so nice. I just fill the plates, you know, and my mum would fill the plate for me.
From with my side, when it came to overeating, because I used to do so much sports when I was young. You used to, especially when you're a teenager, you're just hoovering up food.
Yes.
You're going outside and you're running and you're playing football. And my sport was Thai boxing, and you know, you're training all the time, so you're good. But when you're not doing the same amount, I was still eating. Like I was training 4 or 5 hours a day, right? And of course, it was piling on. So I think it's important what you said as well about having a smaller plate, you know, and also portion. We need, as people, we need to get better with portion control.
Yeah,
you know?
and also because we're so used to having roast potatoes, rice, all at the same time, macaroni and cheese. Maybe just omit 2 of those. Just have rice today, no macaroni, no potatoes, and tomorrow you could have macaroni with a salad or something else, and the following day you could have potatoes. Do you know what I'm saying? With your meat or a salad or whatever you want. Try not to have everything on the same day.
True. So I want you to, Lyndon, I need you to tell me more about the book, bro.
The book?
Tell me about the Inspired Diabetic. Talk to me, bro.
This one?
That one right there, sir. Tell me about it. It's in the stores, £14, right?
Yeah. The book's there. And the thing about it, the story of the book, Serocee, yeah, I didn't intentionally go out to write the book.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't designed. The book was not designed to be written about what I done. The reason why I wrote the book is because my cousin Ken, yeah, on my journey when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I told him that I was diabetic, yeah, okay. And when he told me that he was diabetic, yeah, he's told me that I told him to write a book, do something, and he said I've been thinking about writing a book. So I got a friend named Darren, yeah. Darren's an author, yeah, a very good author. And Darren said, Lyndon, bring your cousin to this event that we're going to. We're talking about how to write a book. You meet book coaches, other authors, that kind of thing. So that on that day, that's the day my HbA1c went down from 77 down to 60, yeah? And that's over 2 months, yeah? I met my cousin Ken in London, train station, yeah? And I told him, Ken, listen, my HbA1c is down to 60 now. And he looked at me like, pardon? I said, yeah, my HbA1 is down to 60 now. He said, what? I said, yeah, I just got my results today, you know, and I'm telling you now. He says, that is good. That is really good. And I thought to myself, really? I said, really? You know? And he said, yeah. And we're just in general conversation, walking down the street. And he's looking at me and said, you reversed your diabetes down to 60 already? I said, yeah. He goes, wow, then that is something. That is something. So we got to the meeting now. I'm going to front row because I want to help my cousin. Yeah, to get a book out there, to get a story out there. He's sitting at the back, you know, but I'm at the front getting notes and I'm listening so intently. And you hear people, other authors, why they wrote the book, how they wrote the book, telling their story, sharing their story, sharing their journey. I think, and you know something, it's like they say that light bulb moment comes up in your head.
Epiphany.
I thought to myself, Ken just said to me, what I done is a really good thing for the last 2 months with my diabetes. I think maybe there's a story in me. So I said to Darren, listen, this is what I've done with my diabetes in the last 2 months. Yeah, there might be a book in me. Darren said to me, okay, Lynn, write down everything that you've done, yeah, for the last 2 months, and then let's meet up next week. So I went away, and Serocee, A4 pieces of paper, I was just making notes. Everything, just writing, and just putting it away. I wouldn't even read it back. I just put it all in a folder. And when I thought, okay, that's enough, that I thought all I needed, I thought, okay, I'm going to Darren now. When I got to Darren's house, yeah, I opened up the folder, I took out the first page, and I started to read it. And I started to read, and I started to read. And then I started to cry.
What?
I started to cry. I had tears come down my eyes. And I thought, is that me?
You're recognizing your achievements now.
Achievements and what I was going through. And what I was going through and what I was doing to my body. Because I didn't even realize. And I looked at Darren, and Darren had a tear in his eye as well. You know? And then he said, Lyndon, you got a book. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So I started to write a book with Darren. And he said, Lyndon, this is too much for me, because it was very intense. Yeah. So I got myself a book coach, Wendy York, and Wendy just helped me put the book together. So I had a very good coach to put the book together, which I was so grateful for, you know. And one of the things that was very sensitive to me within the book is the fact that when I was reading it, I was reading what I was eating each day.
Whilst you were on the diet or
before.
Okay. Yeah.
Before.
Tell me what you was eating before. How did you get there?
3 slices of hard dough bread in the morning. Butter on it, you know? Yeah. Then I'll put jam on it. Yeah. I'll have a cup of coffee, latte coffee, 3 to 4 teaspoons of brown sugar. Yeah. And then honey in that. That was on my way to work. Got to work. So I'm working on the pastry section. So I got cakes, yeah, like that size. But you got to trim off the edges to get each portion. Yeah. So I'm cutting off, putting the trimmings in the bowl in front of me, eating the trimmings. Somebody comes up, do you want a tea? Do you want a coffee? Yeah, I'll have a tea or a coffee. So they make you a cup of tea, coffee, sugar, bit of honey in it, normal procedure. So you're eating the cakes, drinking the tea, coffee again. Lunchtime come. Lunchtime's going to be pasta, rice, potatoes, a meat dish. Normally they got water there or some fizzy drinks for you to drink. Yeah, that's at lunchtime. Stuff yourself at lunchtime. In the afternoon, around 1:30, 2 o'clock or 2:30, tea break. Yeah, tea break. You can have a coffee or tea. You can't just have it by itself. You can have some biscuits with it or some cake, innit? Wow. Yeah, so you can have some cake and all that. Yeah. And sometimes I'm finishing work about 4 o'clock, 4:35. That's rush hour time. So because I lived outside of London, it's going to take me about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get home. So I used to go to the shop and get a 3-meal deal. Yeah, I used to get a BLT sandwich. Yeah, it would probably be a fizzy drink or a chocolate bar or a crisp. Yeah, very rarely it was water. Yeah, that was for my journey to go home. So sometimes I'm driving home, I could hear a noise in the car, in the boot. Ka-ching, ching, ka-ching, ching. What's that noise? So sometimes I pull over and I thought, what's in the boot? What's in the boot? Ah, man. My J2Os.
Oh, God. You got to have them as well, right?
Listen, it got to the stage where I bought a bottle opener for the J2Os. Yeah. I go to the boot, I'll take one bottle. Yeah. I open it there and I'll just drink one there and there. Think psychologically how the sugar get us. Yeah. And then I'll take another bottle, put it in the car for my journey home. And I got food and drink in the car already. Yeah. I'm getting home now. What's at home? Wife's cooked a meal.
Of course.
Yeah.
Gotta have that. You can't go home and not eat. Problem.
So if you don't eat, the wife's gonna say, "There's something wrong with my food." After you've been eating all day. So on the table is gonna be my favorite drink back then was mango juice and my ginger beer. So what you got? Yeah. Yeah. Mango juice, ginger beer, and then you've eaten your food: pasta, rice, potatoes, whatever it is. And what do we do as guys? We sit on the sofa, switch the TV on, say we're gonna watch football.
Drop asleep.
Go to sleep, man. You know, 9:30, 10 o'clock. The wife, come, go to bed. So you get up, you go into the kitchen. What do you do? I'll have a drink before I go to bed. Yeah. So you have a cup of tea. Wow. What do? You go to the cupboard.
Biscuit.
Digestive, you know
There you
it.
go.
You
There you
know,
go.
two or three digestive biscuit. So you take two of them, sit down, watch TV, eating that. You go back to the cupboard, you bring the packet. Next
Yeah.
thing you know, you finish the packet.
Yeah,
And you know the
brother.
thing about it, this is what I'm telling some people. We don't know what we consume throughout the day.
You have to track.
You have to track. That's why when you write it down, you know.
Yeah, what I learned with my journey, brother, is same like you. You're shoveling the food away.
Yeah.
And you convince yourself you're not really eating that much, right?
No.
Because it's a little piece here, a little this, a little that, a little that. And
Yeah.
in your brain, you recognize the three main meals you may have had, right? The breakfast and the lunch but the bits in between, you know, I'll just grab this from Boots. I used to love the flapjacks and the this and the, you know, and by the time you've done all of that, you've consumed a hell of a lot of calories throughout the day. You're talking about your sugar consumption with your cup of coffee, right?
Yeah.
I was at one stage, I was having 6 sugars.
Wow.
6 sugars with a cappuccino, brother.
Wow.
Right? And brother, you know, but it's all, I believe, sugar. Sugar is a very dangerous thing. And it's the sugar.
Nice, isn't it?
And brother, I'll tell you our next thing. I love a condensed milk, you know, bro. I'm Caribbean. I love a condensed milk, bro. Right? So by the time it's so much. When you recognize it.
I was going through a period where I was making Guinness punch all the time. And I would have like a can. I was doing 2 cans of condensed milk. 2 cans of condensed milk. I think it's 4 tins of Guinness, 2 cans of condensed milk. Yeah, 1 can of
the nourishment.
Then I put cinnamon in it, and nutmeg. Yeah, cinnamon and nutmeg, and I got it down to perfection. Because as a chef, you work out quantities, you know, and I worked out mine to the milligram, yeah, of how much I want. So every time I make it, it tastes nice. There's no way I wanted to make a Guinness punch and said, don't taste right. So I measured everything until I got it perfect, that I knew exactly how much I had. It came down to I was getting 4 tins, and I wasn't even using the 4th tin. I was using like 1/3 to a half of a tin. Because if I went over that much, it would have been too strong for me. It would have been too strong.
And this is the craziness that, you know, again, all of these things gradually creep up on you. So you recognize what you were eating throughout a day. You're putting away an insane amount of calories, right?
Yeah.
And then now you've got this diagnosis that you're diabetic. You're gonna have to cut things down. So you're one of the stronger people that said, "Yo, I recognize this. I know I can't do it alone, but mentally, I'm going to the gym. I'm cutting out the white foods, you know, the pastas, the potatoes, and so on. All of the things that easily translate and easily become sugars, right? And now this is gonna be a lifestyle change. Because a lot of people can go through the 3 months. Let's be honest, they can do the 12 weeks.
Yeah.
But then after that, no, it's for the rest of life. Yes, it's just, I believe anyway, and what has is having balance.
Yeah, I think
today I'm gonna have a cake today if I want.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna have it today, tomorrow, next week, and so on and so forth.
But you know something? If you're going to have a cake and you're on a journey, have the cake as a reward.
Yes.
As a reward. So say for instance, 5 days, Monday to Friday, you've been really good. Yeah. Saturday, have a piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have to be. It could be anything that you want to reward yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you're doing your okra water, your bitter gourd water, your cinnamon, your fenugreek, and all these other things throughout the week to clean your body, cleanse your body, you know, because don't forget, because you've been eating certain foods for a long time, you've got parasites in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get parasites, and one of the best things with parasites is papaya seeds, pumpkin seeds, watermelon. That's a nice combination that gets parasites out of the body, you know, because sometimes we eat and eat, but it's not us eating. It's a parasite.
And a friend of mine was talking about detoxing and how important detoxing is for the body. I at least, I haven't recently, but I used to do at least 1 day of full fasting per week. Because I found that it helped the body, and it also helped me reset. You know what I mean? Because you may have a bad look, brother. You don't bat 100 every day, right? Every time. So some weeks it might not be a great week for the focus. But I used to find that on the Friday, whenever I'm fasting, on the Friday when I do my fast, it's like, okay, it brings me back and I can reset once again. But it's important, like what you said, you know, being able to not feed the parasites, you know, and cleanse the body. But I realize also that time is catching up with us. So, and it's so great actually speaking to you, Lyndon. But what I want to talk to you about is, you know, let's say on a daily basis now, right? What does your diet look like for a week, let's say, roughly?
For a week, diet-wise, I still eat meat, I still eat potato, I still eat rice, but I don't eat it like I used to eat it. Yeah, so it varies each day, to be honest with you. Some days, I'm in a position now where 9 times out of 10, I get up in the morning, I don't eat nothing. I just have water, or I have coconut water. Yeah, there's a very good coconut water, which I love very much, which I have. Lemon water, cinnamon water, juice. I do watermelon juice. Watermelon juice. And I use my sea moss as well. I have sea moss in the juice. Goji berries, So I do a lot of juicing as well. We have in the mornings, Then in the afternoons, I might have a meat, I might have some rice, might have some salad. Every day is different how I feel because I'm so used to not eating now. You know, 9 times out of 10, I don't eat until probably 1 o'clock if I'm having a meal or something like that. And sometimes I get up, I said to myself, I didn't eat nothing this morning. I'm going to have something light. Then I thought to myself, I might just have a meal now. You know, because that's the middle of the day. And I'm conscious of eating a meal before 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening now. Do you know what I'm saying? You know? And so this is because what I found with my body, I got a friend, Valma, she says, your body's a temple. You need to get to know your body, how your body feels, you know? I remember when I was eating digestive biscuits a lot, I used to get heartburn. You know? And how I used to get rid of the heartburns, I used to drink milk to get rid of it. But now I don't drink milk like I used to drink milk. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, I've gone into oat milk now. Even like oat milk now, I've cut down on that now. You know, like for the last 2 days now, I've been doing a lot of herbal tea. With fresh lemon in it. So I've got either a Serocee tea I have, which is the leaf of the
I know Serocee.
Sorry, you know. But that's one of the things. And even I've been having
sorrow.
Not sorrow.
You don't bother with sorrow. You don't sorrow?
Yeah. I have sorrow. I have sorrow. Gosh, I've gone blank for a second. The fruits. Oh my gosh. You know when you can see something and you can't remember it.
But it happened to me today. You're kind of balancing out the fruits.
The fruits, and all that kind of thing. So this is what I do now. I don't see food now as I've got to eat something. I've got to eat that. I don't see. I used to say, I'm gonna have a nice meal now. I don't do it like that now. If I'm going out, it's a choice of what I'm gonna eat now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's times as a chef, you know, gosh, they cook this lamb. The lamb smells so nice. Then when you eat the lamb, it's like, ugh. The smell and the taste don't go together. Don't mix. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've literally gone off meat, even like fish. I don't do much fish now either. You know, I don't do much fish now. I feel I've personally got to a stage where I'm not too excited about food like I used to be. You know, if I'm going to a wedding, a funeral, or something like that, it's good to go out and have something to eat. But it's not like I'm looking forward to. Once upon a time, going out, gonna get some food tonight. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, I went to a birthday party a few weeks ago, and I know there was gonna be food there, nice food. but I had something at home before I went. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I went there, I didn't feel like I needed to eat, and this is late at night. This is late at night.
So you're very strict with the not eating after 6, 7.
Yeah, I try very hard not to have a massive meal after that. I really do. You know.
Yeah, no. I for me, that was an important part of the
Yeah.
journey as well. Don't eat after a certain time. Very similar to you, really. I don't really do breakfast anyway.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of water. One of the things as well with the diabetes is stress.
Yeah.
As well, you try and cut down on the stress and cut down on the various things that's kind of going on externally as well.
Yeah.
One more time, brother, I want you to plug the book. I want you to show everybody the book that you've got out. That's
Yeah.
out there in all of your major digital stores. It's called The Inspired Diabetic. Lyndon Wissart, 105 days a man managed to take down.
I mean that.
Him is sugar count from 90 odd all the way down to 41.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly important that we have these conversations, and because we're all being impacted by real life, you know. And I know it's all glamour and glitz online and everybody, you know, but there's real intentional decisions that we have to make. And you know, I've had clients that I train that came in with diabetes, and we've worked, and you know, they've managed to come off the medication and so on. And I just feel like it's so important.
Yeah.
Like I say, I can't stress enough to have these conversations, to speak to people that really have experienced it, and show them that we can get off the medication, but most importantly, you have to take your health seriously.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? But Lyndon, I want you to tell the people and where they can get you on the social media, my brother.
They can get me on Instagram, like we are now. Despite Diabetic, Facebook as well. They could go to my website, theinspireddiabetic.com, and they'll just, if anybody wants to connect with me, just connect with me. I'm open. And I'm just going to finish off with 4 things, to help you to start to reverse your type 2 diabetes or be pre-diabetic. Number 1 is the mindset. Number 1 is the mindset. What can I do? What can I do? What do I need to do? How do I get started? How do I get started? Okay. The second thing, is your diet. What you're going to start eating, what you're going to start taking out, what foods you're going to start eating, what foods you're going to start taking out or cutting down from your diet. You got to think about these things. The third thing is physical activity. What you're going to be doing. You can be doing something, anything to get your body going. You know what I'm saying? I go running sometimes on a Sunday with my son, and they call a run out. You know what I'm saying? This is what I've been doing for a few weeks on and off, you know? And also the fourth thing, so mindset, diet, physical activity. And the fourth one is intermittently fasting. I challenge people, take one of your main meals out of your schedule of the day. Be it lunch, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Skip one of them. Try. And if you feel hungry, just drink water. Because
a lot of times when it comes, you're thinking that you're hungry, and it's just really that you need some water.
And don't forget, if you feel hungry and you don't eat nothing, don't forget, your body will sort itself out. Your body will start working itself to heal itself. And don't forget, when you're fasting is a healing process. Because your body's relaxed, your body's not churning the food around. Your body's finding things to start healing itself. It is. So when you feel like your body's rumbling or feeling, just think that rumbling could be a positive rumbling.
A lot of people don't. And you know, that's a very important point. That rumbling could be a healing, a positive thing going on. And you know, but then again, you know, the commercial world and the Western world just convinces you, right? And that's why the whole breakfast, lunch, and dinner time was created. It's more a commercial thing than a necessity for you to eat, because you know, once upon a time we would go out and hunt food and maybe eat once a day, much less. So I think all of these things are very key and are very important for the development of how we're moving on, and to make sure that we prevent maybe this illness being the bane of our community going forward in the future. And it's just the addiction to sugar. I believe people, if we can cut down on the sugar
Yes.
and the foods that create sugar very quickly,
Yeah.
the white foods,
Yeah.
we would really be a lot better off.
Yeah, and do it in moderation. Do it in moderation. You know.
Definitely. Don't just, you know. You
Yeah.
can't. Not everybody's like Lyndon and Serocee. You can't just cut it out 1 minute like that. You know what I mean? Take time. Take time.
You know.
Thank you so much, my brother, for spending the time and chatting to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
People, it will be back on. You can catch it on the YouTube if you haven't caught it all, etc., etc., etc. Thank you so much, sir, and have a great day.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for tuning in as well. Thank you, Serocee. King Serocee, you the man. You know that.
Blessings.
Blessings.